Flosstube, how's it going? Here for WIP update, slash cross stitch and knitting kind of video. So not so much serious face as in my last retreat update. And thank you all for the kind messages I've received regarding that. But anyway, today you might see some wardrobe changes in this video because this is my running outfit. I haven't gone running yet because I'm supposed to go running with my partner, but he's still asleep, and if he doesn't get up pretty soon, I'm going to go without him, but whatever. So we'll see how that goes. I have 2 FFOs. Yes. Some knitting to show you, and my WIP update, which is, I currently have 3 WIPs. Yeah, I kind of feel like I should, I'm not going to start anything new until January. And I have quite a few things I want to start next year, so Stitch Mania might be a little more manic for me than usual, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. So FFOs first, because I want to put this right out in front. The FO swap that Sonia, Cat Crazy Creations, put together. You saw my video where I showed what I got in my package and the cross stitch that Dawn had sent me. And so I had until, I think we have till November 16th to fully finish it, but I went ahead and finished that this week, and I made a pillow or a cushion. And it is not perfect by any stretch of the imagination. It's the first pillow I've ever done. This is the first like real sewing project that I've done in over a decade. But honestly, stuffing something with the fiberfill covers a multitude of sins. And I'm really pleased with this. Initially, I was worried that the fabric I chose would be too busy, but I think it works out really well. And I used a tutorial that Carolyn Mazzio had done. She has a tutorial, her cushion tutorial uses mitered corners here. I did not do mitered corners, so the tutorial I actually followed was for her wall hanging. I'll link it below. Just the way the trim is put, the edge is constructed. But then I just stuffed it, and I closed it with a ladder stitch. Excellent tutorial that Carolyn had linked, and I will also link below, because you cannot tell. So proud of myself. But yeah, this is what I've done with the cross stitch that Dawn sent me, and I'm really pleased with it. And I was so pleased with it, and I think I just enjoyed, seeing something come full circle. Because I like finishing things, even though I don't do it very often. I get this nice little like, oh, yes, great accomplishment, that I decided I was going to go ahead and FFO something that I've been meaning to for nearly a year and just put off and put off and put off. But I finally turned my little peace sheep into a standing cube. Not perfect by any means. I used Terrace's tutorial. I didn't put feet on it because I couldn't figure out how to, I needed different buttons. But, yeah, not perfect by any means, but close, it's good enough. It's just going in the guest room. So I chose this really, I've had this this pretty batik fabric, and this sheer kind of goldy ribbon for trim, and then I just put this little like burlap cord bow on top. Super, super quick, super, super easy. If you're afraid of sewing, I highly recommend doing something like this. Even if you're not afraid of sewing, if you're sick of sewing. So this is going to go up on the dresser in my guest room to brighten it up a little bit. Yeah, so I'm feeling pretty happy with those. Need to think of some more things to finish. Honestly, other things I have that could be finished need to go to the framer. I could do a wall hanging out of maybe Storytime Sampler, but I'm still annoyed at Storytime Sampler. I don't want to deal with Storytime Sampler right now. So we'll see. Yeah, so how about a WIP update? Here is the welcome sampler from the Tempting Tangles stitch along, and the part 5 was just released this morning or late last night. So this is parts 1 through 4, and this is done on a 32 count linen in Helix from Picture This Plus, and I'm using DMC Dinky Dyes and Jottery Designs threads. And I'm doing the blue flowers and Algerian islets. I don't know if you can tell. But yeah, so this is parts 1 through 4, and I'm going to start working on part 5. And the needle minder is from Marika of Crafty Bit Creations on Etsy. This is really fun. It's very, I don't want to say instant gratification, but the little sections are quick enough that it's very satisfying. Like if you have any WIPs that are just getting on your nerves, this is nice to pull out and work on just because like yes, something is moving along, progress is being made, and it's just a good feeling. What else? There's Autumn in My Garden, which is actually coming up next in the rotation. I was supposed to stitch on it this week. I haven't done any stitching this week. No excuses, just hasn't happened. I've been knitting a lot. So here's where she is right now. I think the last time you saw her on a WIP update, I was working on this green flower right here. So I put in part of the rake. I did this leaf, these leaves down here, this pumpkin. So she's up next in the rotation. I'm going to work the border over some, and then I'm going to, there's another couple of pumpkins, or maybe just one pumpkin. There's pumpkins over here and then the side border. And then once I get everything done over here, I'm going to move the Q-snap up this way and start working on the rest of the lady. And this is on a 32 count natural linen. I lost the tag. Whatever the pattern called for is what this is. And that leaves us with Nantucket Girls Sampler, which is on a 40 count vintage buttercream linen from Lakeside Linens. This is fun. So what I did is I finished the title here that says Nantucket Girl Song, and then I stitched the ship. So the whole thing is going to be about that wide, and then there's, but I just wanted you to see, because I did the motif going through the center is the first thing I stitched. But yeah, slow and steady on this one. 40 count is not scary. I don't know what I was so nervous about. It is small. If you have eye issues, you may need some assistance. You know, magnifier, light, things like that. I could probably stand to have some reading glasses, but just in my normal life, but I'm not having any issues. And I think I hear my partner coming down. So yeah, those were my WIPs, and when I come back, we'll talk about knitting. Hey, so it's been actually a couple of days since the little cross-stitch segment you just watched. And a couple of things have changed, one of which is I finished the Tempting Tangles Part 5, so I'll show you that in a minute. And also, I did film the rest of the video on Friday. Today's Sunday. And I was watching it this morning, and I deleted it. I was really cranky for some reason, and it just wasn't fun. I was like, I wouldn't want to watch this if it was someone else's video. So I deleted it. A lot of it was me ranting. I had a really bad Etsy experience, and you know, the shop's gone now. I guess the seller just decided to close, so there's really no point in you hearing me bitch and moan about a bad experience. It was really the only bad experience I've ever had on Etsy, and I've been shopping on Etsy for years, so I mean, that's a pretty good track record. And also, the fabric that I ordered from Jottery Designs that I'm going to stitch QS Ladybug on finally arrived. I've never bought fabric from Michelle before. I'll show you that now. But I've bought threads from her a couple of times. And the only complaint I have about Jottery Designs, and it's not even a complaint, you know, I don't actually want to phrase it as a complaint because I don't know anything really about the British Postal Service. I wish that that there was tracking available, but I mean, that's just me because I like to go and say, oh, where's my package now? Where's my package now? Where's my package now? And you know, I don't know if the Postal Service in the UK either A, doesn't offer that, or B, for international shipping, that's prohibitively expensive. I don't know. So it's not really a complaint. It's just, you know, I wish, but it's here. It's safe. I've never had a problem. So, so this was where's the blouse that I got to match because I had to. It's beautiful. So this was the September limited edition colorway. And it's interesting. This is the first, as I said, this is the first time I've ever bought fabric from Michelle at Jottery Designs. And it's beautiful. I got a 25 count Lugana. And the fabric is paler than the floss. The limited edition was Elven Wood. I got 2 skeins of floss. I mean, this is right up my alley. green and a reddy brown and orange, and it's beautiful and I love it. And I decided that's what I had to stitch QS Ladybug on. And here's what the fabric looks like. I kind of wish there was more orange and more green, but you know what? Do I think that QS Ladybug is going to look beautiful on this? Absolutely. I can't wait for May. But yeah, 25 count Lugana. Gonna stitch over 1. Yeah, 1 over 1. Haven't decided full crosses or 10 stitch. I was kind of hoping that someone who's stitched 25 count over 1 might offer their opinion. I know Orietta and D Stitcher have both stitched QS Ladybug on this count of fabric. But anyway, yeah, I just wanted to show off the pretties because it is so pretty. I know I swear up and down that I prefer neutrals to hand-dyeds, but just sometimes, I gotta have it. And with QS Ladybug, you know, where it's just black floss, kind of need a little something to keep it interesting. So, super happy with that. If you haven't ordered from Joaterie Designs, but you like hand dyes, I recommend it. I mean, you're going to have to be patient because she dyes everything to order, and she's had some health issues lately, if I'm reading between the lines correctly. So you'll have a bit of a wait. I don't think we're talking about, like, Picture This Plus Christmas in July sale wait, but you'll have a bit of a wait. Although if you live in the UK, it shouldn't be, I don't think it would be that rough. But anyway, yeah, so very happy about that. I can't wait. It's going to be fabulous. And Tempting Tangles, I stitched it yesterday. Part 5, that is. There's one teeny tiny mistake, and I don't care. Normally I'm a little bit, like, I don't know, it just bothers me. Even if you can't tell looking at it, I'll know. But this time around, I was just like, meh, I really can't tell. And I'm not going to notice. In a year, I'm going to forget about it. But there are all five sections so far. I'm enjoying this. I'm glad I took a chance on this one because after Storytime Sampler, I was like, no more mystery samplers for me, babe. No more. But I'm glad I took a chance on this. I think because it was $5, and I basically kidded, and not basically, there's no basically about it, I kidded this up from Stash. I think that was a big motivator. Also, on Friday, I forgot to show you my cross-stitch finish, which maybe you watched in the vlog, but if vlogs aren't your thing, you didn't see that I finished Misfortune. This was my Dark October stitching, which I didn't post on Instagram and didn't use the hashtag, but I did stitch this in October, and it is dark. So this is Misfortune from, Prairie Schooler. Stitched on the recommended fabric and DMC. I will never stitch on this fabric again. It's a nightmare. I hate it. Which I think I've ranted about before, so I will spare you that. I've not decided how I'm going to finish this, but it's going to hang in my office year-round when I do get around to finishing it. It's cool. So, okay. Showed you that. Showed you that. Knitting? Knitting. I'm working on a pair of socks for my mom for Hanukkah. And the yarn I'm using, if you were on Ravelry or are on Ravelry, if you were, we're going back like 7 years, maybe 6 or 7 years. If you remember the shop called Little Red Bicycle, ran by Dee Dee, she had some gorgeous yarn. It's been closed for a while. She had some stuff going on in her personal life and something had to give, and her side business was what had to give. But I got this yarn from her. It was a limited edition called Journey on the Silk Road. And it's this beautiful, like jewel tone reds, little bits of fiery orange, right up my mom's alley. And the pattern is the No Purl Monkey pattern, which I'll link the original pattern below. Cookie A, the sock designer. This is one of the first patterns she'd ever published on Knitty.com, Monkey. And this variation, just there are purl ridges in the pattern, and this you just knit instead of purl. And it's still a beautiful pattern. It's just a little tiny, just a slight variation. And I've knit this pattern probably about 4 times. I really enjoy it. It's simple enough that it's easy to memorize. It looks nice with variegated variegated yarn. And yeah, I feel like it knits up really fast. And it's simple, but is not complicated that you can't do other things while you're knitting it, like watch stuff or talk to people. So I have one done and a little bit. So that's pretty on track. I am confident that this will be done in time for Hanukkah. Very confident. I started and finished, and this needs to get in the mail. I'm so late. I knit a little pumpkin hat for a sweet baby boy that I know. And I've knit this again 4 or 5 times. I love this pattern called Little Pumpkin. It's from a book called Itty Bitty Hats. The orange is Swish worsted from Knit Picks. The stem is some brown alpaca I had in my stash, and then I discovered too late that I didn't have any appropriate green colored yarn in my stash, so I just ran to Joann's and got some cheapo Lion brand woolies because I only needed that much. That's got to go in the mail this week. Has to. Has to. Do you want to see Kiddo's sweater? She informed me yesterday I got the colors wrong. Well, not that she picked out the colors. So here's the sweater so far. I got the sleeves, the yoke, and I'm starting to work on the front, and she informed me that I reversed the blue and the lavender. So I have to rip back to here and redo it. Kind of not thrilled with that, but it's her sweater, so. Anyway, this is knitting up really nicely. I'm using Barocco Comfort, which is a worsted weight. It's 50% nylon, 50% acrylic. I normally don't care for synthetic yarns, just personal preference. I'm more of a wool and alpaca kind of gal. This is super soft. I've knit things with it before. I highly recommend it for kid stuff, baby stuff, stuff that, you know, you're not gonna panic if something that knit with this gets thrown in the wash, because it's gonna hold up fine. Honestly though, this is maybe 2 or 3 days of knitting, the blue and the lavender bits, so It's not heartbreaking or soul crushing that I have to rip back and do over, but I don't wanna. Meh. Children are so fickle. That, I think, is all the stuff I've been working on I have to show you. I just ordered some yarn last week from Sadie Ruin here on YouTube, who owns the shop Knitter's Nightmare, which I will link below, because she had some unexpected vet bills come up. She has a sick kitty, so she's having a 15% off sale if you use the code VET2016, which I will also put below. So go check it out. I mean, it's nice to support indie dyers anyway, and she has some nice funky colorways. I bought a couple of skeins because I needed something to use to knit for my sister's girlfriend, and I found some sock yarn for myself that I like. So, and when that arrives, I will share it. What else? I got some grime guards. So here are the grime guards I was bitching about. They're well made. My only complaint, aside from the intolerable lateness, is that they smell like old smoke. So I had to wash them. I'm gonna have to wash them again because they still kind of smell like old smoke. But they're well made, I gotta say. So this is a 10-inch round for hoop, and this is 11 by 11 for my Q-snap. This has skulls with hats and crowns. And this is just a cool, I like the colors. But that shop closed, so don't know what's going on there. I got 2 other grime guards because I didn't think the 2 that I just showed you were ever going to show up. So there's a shop on Etsy called Stormborn Boutique, which I highly recommend. I got the 11 by 11 in this cool Star Wars Dia de los Muertos pattern. And my 10-inch hoop is the Muppets. And what was really cool, and she didn't have to do this, it was so nice of her, she took a little piece of each fabric that I requested and she made little needle minders. So this is Miss Piggy, and I gave the other one to Josh because she just cut out the Rebel logo and made a needle minder out of that, and Josh asked if he could have it. And I said yes, because I love him. Yeah, so I recommend them, her, yeah. And also, just real quick, I want to show you, I placed an order with Nifty Needle Nannies a couple of weeks ago, and I got some bonus stuff because Julie does that, and she's really sweet. She sent everybody like a little happy fall note, and I got a bonus little sparkly gold pumpkin, which I love. I got a bag of Halloween candy, which was so sweet. And here's what I ordered. What I ordered was this cool bat, this little orange guy, and this skeleton, and she included this little grayish black guy and this cute little skull. Super, super happy with it, as always. Love Nifty Needle Nannies. Julie, thank you so much for being awesome. And a quick flash of my not very impressive needle minder collection, but it's mine and I love it. I will never have as many as some of you, and I'm okay with that. Is that everything? I think that's everything. I'm gonna shoot for a WIP update every 2 weeks, I think. We'll see what's going on with the rotation, because as of right now, I have 3 WIPs. That includes the Tempting Tangles. So from now until the end of the year, I'm just going to alternate 1 week on Autumn in My Garden, 1 week on Nantucket Girl Sampler. And then let's see, my plan for January 1st is to start both Queen Anne's Lace by Nora Corbett and in Soulful Stitchers, where some of us are doing a stitch along for Little House Needleworks Old Nantucket pattern. I still need to actually buy the pattern and the floss and the fabric for that. And at some point in January as well, I want to start what the heck's it called? Prairie Moon. The Red and the Black. That will get started in the new year too. Those are the main plans. But I will show you stuff for that as and when. I'm looking around, seeing is there anything I forgot to show you? I don't think so. Cool. All right. So thanks for hanging out with me, guys. Thanks for coming back. Thanks for subscribing. It really, I really do appreciate it. It means so much. And I'll catch you around the internet, okay?